Watch page. Boom. I believe I'm live. Let me just get this over here. How you doing, everybody? Today we are going to be talking about, well, probably one of the biggest games of the year for me, even though it's a young year. But we're going to be talking about something that I consider the most anticipated game of the year for me, and can very easily change my number one. Oh, okay, good. Everybody said I'm alive. Perfect. That can very easily change my number one game of all time. I had the pleasure of getting an email from Alec Hansen, and I believe this was the end of November, and he asked and asked if I would be willing to take a look at a game that should be coming out. And hold on, let me make sure my sound is off so we don't reverberate, which of course I heard myself, so I wanted to make sure I took care of that. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. But anyways, I had gotten this email and asked if I would look at this game. I didn't know anything about Midora, and sure enough, it turned out that I looked at it and I was completely blown away. So I've spent the last 2 months and close to anywhere from 9 to almost 12 hours learning this game inside and out. And finally the day is here. Tomorrow I will actually have a review copy. Now, for these guys to commit to me, first of all, Alex, Brooklyn, Ian, let me see if I don't want to forget anybody, Clayton and Brennan, to commit to this channel. Now listen, they're going to have a bunch of people reviewing this, but I want you guys to know that this isn't, when I get this game here, a rub in anybody that backed this game's face and going, look what I got. No, what I plan on doing for you is building a blueprint, okay? And that's the thing that you're going to need. This is a very big game. The rule book is 76 pages. As a matter of fact, we're going to go take a look at the rule book right now. Boom, there you go. My whole thing here is to build a blueprint for you, to make something that you guys can go off of, that you feel comfortable, that when you finally get this game in your hands, that you're going to feel very, very comfortable. Of course, I'm hitting everything. I apologize for that. But I want you guys to know that I am committed by leaps and bounds to bring you the very best that this game is. Okay, and I believe I can, because I think it's that great of a game. I'm very committed to them, just as much as they were committed to me and this channel to take a chance on this channel. Okay, there's a lot bigger guys that they could have done this, but I guarantee you that the next two, I'd say at least 8 to 10 days that we're going to be covering this, you're going to be blown away by what we're going to do, because we're not only going to, we're going to give you the blueprint on how to paint it. Okay, and we'll show you the miniatures in a bit. We're going to give you the blueprint on how to play it. And we're going to take it very seriously. I want to protect all the secrets, and I want to make sure that you have an understanding. And if we make mistakes, I'm going to make sure that they take a look at our video and that we have the answers, so that when you go to play it and say, hey, I remember Rob made that mistake, and we're going to fix it right here because I seen this happen. We want to be a blueprint, and we want to be the gold standard as far as the videos go with this particular game, and we are going to cover every mode. So let's go down and take a look at the rule book. The reason being, the way this is going to go, we're going to get the box tomorrow. I'm going to go live, but I'm going to do a quick unboxing so you see everything that's in there. Mostly I want you to see the quality of these miniatures. After that, it's off, and I'm priming. Then the following day, we will have our only live paint session. Okay? The rest, everything else will be taped until we are completely done. The idea is to have this game painted by Sunday. Saturday more for my preference. Painting impossible, here we come, right? Next thing I want to do is, there are 2 modes here. Now, I'm off on Monday. I like to play both modes live for you guys on Monday. Starting early in the morning and working into the evening. Excuse me, I apologize. So let's go down. That's the blueprint that we have. And then we will just fill it in, and we will continue to do once a week And I think you'll see where we're going to go with this and how we are going to show you how passionate these guys are. Projects like this get me excited, and this is why I'm in board gaming. When a bunch of guys are very passionate and they create something beautiful, I can never come up with what they came up with in their mind. Absolutely beauty. Blown away by the art. Alex, you are unbelievable, along with Brooklyn. The graphic design, everything that's in this, you could just feel. You read the book, how clean it is, how much work. It took them a while to get this out, but they got it out, and you, as the consumer or as a backer, are not going to be disappointed. I can see you being blown away, and this being the gold standard of dungeon crawls because it has so many facets. I'm a big fan of the Japanese role-playing game, and it has this feel. It also has a feel of like a Pathfinder and things like that. It's all wrapped up into this one unbelievable package. So let's go down and take a look. First of all, I'll say hi to everybody. Thank you for doing this. Oh, Cody, thank you. Yeah, I really want to make sure that we cover this in every angle. Now, the art is just ridiculous, okay? Midara, the rule book. I'm going to talk you through some of the things. And the reason I'm doing this now is when I do that unboxing, I don't want it to be a boring unboxing. I want that thing to be about 10 minutes. I don't want to be opening it up and going, hey, wow, take a look at that cardboard. Yes, this is very heavy plastic in here. No, I want to make sure that we hit the things that we want to do. First of all, we're looking at the rule book right now. This is downloadable. It's been downloadable. I've been studying it. The Avenger book is about this thick, okay? It no doubt it's about that thick, and that's pretty thick. The Avenger book is more of, I'm just going to move my microphone over here a little bit, is when you are going to do a campaign that is going to take you 8 months. Okay, because you're going to be taking these characters and building them from nothing all the way to something. A diagram book, it's going to supplement the adventure book and the crawl book. Now, what's the crawl book, you said? If you want to do a couple of scenarios, they have 5 scenarios. I call them scenarios, but they are scenarios. But there's different orders in the scenarios. You may do the first level 1 scenario, and it may have like 4 or 5 parts to it. So you have a thing that's called a crawl book that is actually getting you into the game quickly and playing out some scenarios, and just, it's a one-night thing that you can actually be done in a couple hours. The bounty book. The bounty book is, and that's the bounty book right there. And it's got it all here. So I'm just talking you guys through this, and don't mind me. The bounty book is a supplement for the adventure book. Say you go back to town and you want to do some side quests. Well, there's a whole bunch of side quests. Oh, let's hit that again. That are in here. Now, another thing I'm going to show you is the miniatures, but we're really going to feature the miniatures very soon. There's cards beyond belief, and we're just going to keep going here, and we're going to talk about a bunch of different things as we get more and more. Now, here's some of the things that I wanted to talk about. The hidden deck cards. These are some of the secrets of the game that you don't know. This red reveal decoder. And let me just stop right here for a second and apologize to everybody. I know this is live, and usually I engage with you guys, but to be honest with you, this is something I really want to go over. I don't want this to be a long, drawn-out thing. I want this to be the benchmark to say, hey, here's what we're doing. Here's what we're going forward starting tomorrow. Now, all the content that I had planned this week will be pushed off because this takes precedence. These guys had the faith enough in this channel that we're going to go and we're going to show them how serious we take this. We are here to help you and help the backers, not rub it in their face. That's one thing I don't want to do, and you guys know me well enough from this channel that what we want to do is build a library here, and something that you can reference and really get a lot out of. And that, for me, is when you finally get your copy, you can go back and go, wow, I remember all this. This is going to be fun, and get right into the game. The red reveal here, going back to this, is there's going to be spots in the book, and I'll show you in a little bit, and you put this over here and it will reveal a message. I've already figured out how we're going to get around that. Tons of tokens. Look at the art. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful art. Here's the game itself. Now, that's the adventure book that we were talking about. You're going to set up and you're going to do all these different adventures. But we're going to talk about that a little farther. Like we said, you would be able to pick a couple of different types of adventures. Okay, you're gonna the adventure book, which, hey, get ready. You know, you guys maybe play D&D, meet once a week, and go at it. That's great. The crawl mode, hey, that's one evening. Let's have some fun with a great game and enjoy ourselves and be able to do these sessions in a couple hours. And I think that's just amazing that they would think that far ahead to put that much thought into it. And there's going to be more. They're going to release more content. I'm talking a mile a minute, so I just want to make sure that I get this. All right, some pages we're just going to skip through, but don't worry about it. Crawl mode explains exactly what I just said. Adventure mode explains exactly what it just said. Look at the art. What I really like is that they have so much of this art that we are going to be able to utilize, so we paint these figures. There's no digging for art. I mean, look at this. Beautiful. And wait till you see these figures. Holy moly. Playing encounters. Here, you're going to get so many tiles, it's ridiculous. And here is your basic encounter breakdown. What you're going to do is you're going to have a setup here, and you're going to put everything where it needs to be, and it shows you where you start and so forth and so on. And then you are going to go on your adventure. Remember we were talking about the red thing? Well, this is also part of bombing the sickles, and I'll show you what a sickle is very shortly. There are different objectives. If you saw them, you would basically go, well, I think that's the best thing that I want to go after. No. Once you code that token, you are going to take that red thing and you're going to reveal the text. And that is going to help you because, as you can see here, there's also things that, well, if I go for the blue objective or the red objective, you can make a decision. Well, there might be something bad. There might be something great. There's all kinds of different things, but it doesn't become revealed to you unless you do that. So the replayability is absolutely off the charts. Let's keep going here. Now, here's the loot totems. See how they're different colors? Well, you're going to be turning those over so you only see the white side, because again, you're not going to know what you run into until you run into it, and then boom, you're going to say, oh, that's a red totem I found? Okay, great, awesome. And then you're going to reveal it once you discover it. Okay. Then there's just how they wrote all this, I don't know how they did it. Absolutely amazing. And I'm sorry for my finger being in the way, but reading the encounters, there's a lot of fluff here, and I think that's great. Here we have the combatant loot deck. Now, if you notice these things on the left-hand side, it says mundane, common, uncommon, and rare. Depending on what level you start out at, you're going to be starting at mundane. And this is the loot deck that you're going to build. And that's every time you discover something or kill something, you are going to be pulling from this deck. It's all going to be in a pile, of course, but these are how many of each thing that you're going to have. And you are going to collectively split that loot amongst your group. Let's go. Okay, it also shows you the different terrain types. There's water, there's hindering, there's obstructions, danger. You're going to be able to, there's elevations. There's all kinds of different things. Everything's done by line of sight. Water, you could have currents that are going to be pushing you off the edge. You don't want that. And I mean, just look at these tiles are beautiful. Along with, you have to paint these miniatures. And that's another thing that I really want to commit to, is that we are going to paint this, and we're going to have an instructional 101 on how to paint these miniatures. And you'll see what I'm talking about very shortly. And let's just keep going here. Like I said, we're giving you a quick. Okay, here's where we really want to start here. Okay, these red things here are your stamina, which are basically your tokens that are going to allow you to do actions. If you want to move, it's going to cost you 1 stamina. You start with 3 stamina. There are different cards and things that can give you different powers that will help you, and so forth and so on. You're going to have a character ability here. Now, conviction. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there we go. Base dice. The adventurer's base dice are used for conviction checks. So these are the checks that you are going to be making throughout the game. There's going to ask you to do some conviction checks. Casting, if you're going to cast a spell. We'll talk a little bit more about that going ahead. Now, you also have these 5 skills on the bottom. Okay, so what are these skill numbers on the bottom? What you're going to be doing is rolling a die and adding that number to beat whatever there may be. Say you need to take an agility test of 10. Well, you have an agility of 6, which means on the die you are going to need at least a 4 to tie or to beat it. And that is going to help you. You're going to be able to dodge and do different things. There's all kinds of different little things here that are going to help you, that you are going to add to your roll number. Here is your health. Okay, your defense. We'll talk about combat very shortly. Combat is so easy and everything is just really, really well done. It costs you 2 to attack. So you're going to need 2 stamina. So if you have 3 stamina, you're going to be able to move for 1, 3 to attack. But there's other things that you can do, and we'll cover that either later in this or at a later time. When is Rob getting his copy? I will have it tomorrow. Tomorrow it will be here. I just checked it, and like I said, this is a big thing for me, because this for me is a big deal. Movement. As you can see, she moves 6. Here we have our item cards. Okay. We're going to talk more about this a bit, but as you can see right here, you're going to be rolling 2 dice, okay? And whatever that number is, plus symbols, okay? And we'll get there. I'll tell you how this all works, and it's pretty interesting. But you have relics, consumables, accessories, core, armor. All these things are going to help you fend things off and also attack. And they're going to give you more dice, because more dice is always better. And it'll give you bonuses and things like that. Is there a way to get this if we miss the Kickstarter? Yes, they're going to have it up on their store. I see something about the shop available on the website, but cannot tell if any pre-orders will be available. From what I understand, they will be available, but just not right now. They are taking care of their backers, and all that's out right now is the review copies for everybody to check out. So I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. So just, again, stick with me. We're going to walk you through all this, and we're going to make sure that we give you the most information that we possibly can, because I have been studying this for quite some time to make sure that we do probably some of the best videos that we've ever done. Up here, it tells you what it is. It's a war axe. How many hands? Well, a war axe is a 2-handed weapon. What does that mean? Well, guess what? You can't be carrying around a ranged weapon and a war axe. It pretty much basic rules. It is for melee, which is that symbol underneath. How many dice? The value of it if you go to sell it when you go back to town. So there we go with that. Tiers, okay. There are consumables, maybe, as you can see, selling items, mundane items. When you go to sell them, they're not as much as selling them as when you have them, and how much gold they are. So this is what you would do if you went and turned in something. It may be worth more, but to the seller, it's always worth less. Tags. There are tags on the bottom here. We will explain that very soon. As you can see, this one says exhaust. To use this ability, you would actually exhaust the card. Here is a passive Ethereum. You can add this to a weapon to power it up. What it's going to do is add a passive ability to that particular weapon. We will cover that in field. Look at that art. Beautiful. And here's what we were talking about. You would use red for a weapon, blue for an armor, green for core, and mixed, of course, which is their masterwork. Symbols. These symbols, usually on the bottom of your weapon cards, like for instance, our axe here, as you can see, there's a shield right there, okay? It says add 1 physical damage, okay? And for the magic symbol there, it would add 1 physical damage. Whoops, hold on. Don't want to blow this away. When you roll some of these dice, you can spend a stamina to get an extra dice. There's a black die that is all symbols but a skull. If you roll the skull, you completely miss. So you take a chance because you may get a bunch of these symbols that can double your damage. So how does damage work? Well, we're going to talk about that very shortly. And I want to make sure that you guys understand. Here's your combat dice. When we get to the dice, we'll explain what happens here. Armor. Well, we can do it here, I think. Armor. When you are fighting a creature, it may have an armor of 8, okay? And say you roll a bunch of dice. Say you roll a 10 on your dice, okay? You have to beat their armor to hit them. But what happens is, it's how much you went over that number that you do damage. So if we rolled a 10 and they had an armor of 8, that means you're going to be doing 2 damage. Okay? So that creature that we were talking about had 6 damage. But you can pay, you could take the symbols and maybe there's something on that card which will do additional damage. So now you start adding up damage. Okay? And abilities and stuff like that. You can, like I said, pay that extra stamina. You may have something with armor piercing, which is just going to beat right through any armor that the enemy may have. Or the enemy may have armor piercing. And if you remember, we looked at armor before. Here's all the tags which are going to explain anything that says on the cards. Like there's resistance, resilience, light, limited, light and heavy. Heavy is going to slow you down. If you're wearing a heavy piece of armor, what's going to happen? You are going to slow down by 1 movement. So maybe you have a movement of 6. Well, now you can only move 5 because you're wearing a heavy armor. Disciplines. Okay, now this is a whole nother thing that you are just going to find fascinating because you can pick a discipline. Once you go to the store and train, and you have XP, because what you're going to be doing is collecting XP. For everything that you kill, you're going to be getting gold and XP. You're going to be able to use these disciplines. And you're going to pick a discipline, and as you can see, you have all kinds of different. Some are very powerful and very, that are more for the arcane or for physical combat. And you're going to pick these, and what you're going to do is, well, you're going to add them to your character, and they're going to give you more abilities, so you'll be able to cast spells. Discipline card. They can do different things. Now this is how much. If you look over here, that's how much it's going to cost in XP. Now say you wanted to change discipline. This costs 3 XP, but you wanted to change and maybe go to something more combat heavy. And it may cost another 3 XP. Well, it would cost you 4 because every time you move up a discipline or change a discipline, it's going to cost 1 more. Whatever the level is, plus. So you got to be very smart in how you build your character. And you can change your character all the way through. So, wow, it's going to be something else. Let me see if I'm missing anything. No, I'm not. Okay, great. So these disciplines have tags and stuff like this. Over here, you see stamina. That's how much it's going to cost you to do that particular discipline. If you want to use that discipline, you're going to use that. Now, there's a lot of other things that are going to be in there. And here's a table set up. And you could see how they have their weapons and everything. And over here are the cards for the enemies and how you're going to negotiate them. An adventurer setup. You're going to have your adventure card, your weapon, another weapon. You're going to have room for 3 consumables, 3 relics, any accessories, a familiar that you might have with you. This is where you're going to put your disciplines as you get going and your abilities. The initiative track. Now this is another neat feature. You're going to, whoever your heroes are, you're going to take them, and whatever monsters are on you, the monsters are not hidden, they are actually there. So what you're going to do is you're going to shuffle up, and then before you even start the game, you are going to deal out these cards, starting from here, from the left to the right here, and that is going to be the turn order. So these two guys may go right off the bat, and then have your guys, or there might be a good mixture. And then once you get here, well, you're going to go right back there and start all over again. It talks about exhausting things. There are things that you can exhaust. Some things that you can flip. And during a refresh phase, you're going to be able to unexhaust, or, I forgot what they call it. Believe it or not, it's probably, as much as I've read this, there might be a resolve where you unflip a card. So you got to be careful. There might be just one time that you use that. Being smart with your stamina points is so smart. So here are what you can do here. You can move. You can attack. And counteraction. That means you can open a chest or encounter a loot item of some sort. Then you may want to keep stamina for a defensive purpose. Okay. You want to keep 2, so maybe you counter something that may attack you. Or dodge. Dodge is very big. You rather dodge than get hit. We talked about move and how that works. Like I said, I'm not going to explain it all to you. We're going to go over this and over this and over this 1,000 times. Our main thing is to really get things going. And I really want to give you an idea and a feel. Here's what I was talking about with the dice. You may have an orange and a white die, and you're going to combine that together. But notice the symbols around here. You can add all these up. Now, say like this here, it says 2. Whoops, hold on. It says 2. Say you had 4 shields on these dice. Well, you could double that as much as you can. So add 2 to the physical damage, add another 2, which would give you 4 physical damage in whatever you rolled above their armor. So say their armor was 10. That's 13, that's 3. And with the 2 shields there, well, that's going to give you 5, okay? Because you can add that, because you can turn those shields in. Anything left over would be wasted. So now you're doing 5 damage to maybe a creature that only has 4 or 6. You're going to want to try to find as many, depending on the creature that you're going to be facing. Another thing here, okay, is re-equip. You can spend for a spell point to re-equip something. You may have something in your backpack and say, you know something, I don't like this. I'm going to re-equip something out of my backpack. Well, it's going to cost you a stamina point, not a spell point. Look at the beautiful art. Unbelievable. We covered a lot of this. Casting spells works almost the same way. And books, only you're going to be using books, and that's what's going to do. And as you can see, gore shot here. That is going to be your number there. You're going to spend 1 spell point, okay, and then you're going to roll a die and add spell 6 to it, and hopefully be able to deal that much magic damage to the creature that you are attacking. And you can see here, like I was telling you, either magic or that will give you +1 for a great hammer. Here, there's the black die I was talking about that you can spend extra spell point to help you along here. Pretty sure they are planning another Kickstarter for the game in coming months. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. And we're just here to help them along and really make sure that you guys see what's going on here. Tags, we'll explain those. Cave sickles, those are the creatures I was telling you about. We're going to take a look at the miniatures too. These can either be for you or against you. Okay, they could be familiars that help you. There is a sickle, as you can see, very cool. I can't wait to paint those guys up. You can have familiars with you, or as they call it, intelligent combatants. And what they are going to do is they are going to help you along here. what is going to happen is everything is built into the card to tell you everything that you need as far as dice and everything. They cannot hold any weapons, and you know, they may be with your party. So there you go. They also have some that are against you. I'm going to have this printed out so we have it, and that is the discipline ability tree. These are all the different disciplines and all the different things that you can get and purchase and make your character even stronger and better than ever. We've talked about all this, and there's a ton of other rules. We will be talking about jumping and all the other stuff, summoning things. We were talking about that a little while ago. Look, I mean, just look at these. You're going to be fighting bosses. You're going to be fighting things that you're just going to be blown away by everything that goes with this. I printed out already some of these adventure sheets. Okay. And these are important because you can stop at any time and put down what you got going, the people with you, how much gold you have, what's going on here, any achievements, some notes. Put it into it comes with baggies that you're going to be putting them into, and then the next time you're able to play, you could break down the game and then just bring it out and have everything ready to go. Beautiful indexed. And now we have all the charts that show you all the negative and positive ability tokens. Here we have a very beautiful, which I'm going to print on a cardstock and then I'm going to laminate. So we have everything here so we can take a look at a reference sheet. This is all the dice that are going to be available to you and show you what the different types of dice are. So you have an idea of the things. Remember, I talked about these symbols and the conviction and all that, and there you go. That is pretty much, let's just cancel this out. There we go. Oh, whoa. How do we get out of that? There we go. Oh, there we go. Let's go up to here. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, I want to show you these miniatures, and bear with me, and then we'll be done here, because I don't want to take all your precious time. Miniatures. If you have a chance, go to their site, Succubus Publishing, but look at this. We are going to be painting all this, all these beautiful things, and there's a lot of things that you don't even know about that are here. But these are just, I mean, look at the detail. This is what I'm talking about. Perfect. Miniatures with a wash. Well, let's look at those, shall we? Well, you can put a little wash on them too. I'll show you how to do that. What I want to do is make it easy so you have the 101s on how to do this. Let's go to the gallery and see what we have here. Oh no, I did that already. So, support, lore. Oh, their lore is ridiculous. What these guys came up with. It is truly a passion project, and there is no doubt about it. I would go. I don't want go to their YouTube channel, Succubus Publishing, and you could see some great videos that they've put out. I've watched them all ad nauseum. So I was hoping to show you guys more miniatures, but that's for tomorrow, isn't it? That's what it's all about. So let's go up top to your old boy here, and let's talk about this a little bit more. First of all, let's, oh wow, 57%. Great. So now I'll field some questions that you may have and stuff like that. But the main thing was I wanted to cover this in detail because I wanted to give you a good idea of what's going on. Hold on, let me turn this around so I see what the heck I'm looking at. Oh, there's me. There I am, because, you know, I got to look at my ugly self so I know exactly what's going on. There are plenty of things for me to print out. We will have it all printed out, laminated, and when we lay this game out, I'm hoping that we can start playing. Like I said, we did a nice run through of it. I think you have an idea of when I go into it. You'll be able to reference this particular video, getting us prepped for tomorrow. This is going to be a 10-day project. Every single day, there's going to be a new painting video. I like to condense it down to 15 minutes that you can follow along with the ABCs of how to paint all these miniatures. The only live one will be on Wednesday. Tomorrow will be an unboxing. then we will be painting and having videos all through the weekend. Anything I had planned, I'm going to push off to the following week. And like I said, on President's Day, which I'm off, this is what you get when you work for the government, I'm going to spend an entire day playing this game live. So you guys see it, feel it. You can watch me make mistakes, and we can together learn and go forward. So if you have a chance, the PDF is free to download. It is. Get it, look at it. I want this where I'm taking your hand and helping you along. And you know, they have some great videos out there that they did. I like to enhance it with the painted so you get the full immersion of what they envisioned. These guys envisioned something and have an unbelievable passion, and they did a fantastic job. Helen, if I'm missing anything, please hit me with a red there so I make sure that I'm on there. And make sure that we hit everything. We are going to spend a lot of time on this, and I really think this is something that you guys will really enjoy. This, I have a feeling, will be my #1 game of all time. And that's saying a lot after 30 years. The more I read it, the more I even had like I had from Endure the Stars, I had some things, and I was just taking just any miniatures I had and just kind of work my way through some things so I understand what's going on. I want to be Johnny on the spot. They had the faith in me. I want to show them that I believe in their product and that this is a fantastic thing. That when this comes live on their shop and all the backers have everything that they have, that you can reference this stuff and feel that we were doing you a service. And that's what this is about. They have the faith in me to send me this game to provide a service for you. And that's what getting a review copy is about. Not saying, oh, this sucks. Oh, hey, I got this. I'm so excited. Listen, yeah, I'm excited. But the point is to provide a service. And if more people did that, I think I think people wouldn't be so bitter waiting for some of their stuff. And that's what I want to do. They were nice enough to do this for me. I want to provide you a service, a good service, something that I feel from in here, reviewing and taking all the time I've taken to learn this inside and out. And believe me, I still don't think I know it inside and out. So I'm going to do the best I can. And, you know, I've already started mapping characters and how we're going to paint those. So it's quick, efficient, and it's something that you can follow. Anybody can pick up a paintbrush and do what I have planned. I said it all. Let's take some questions. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we have no questions. Awesome. Then I guess I did it all right, and I said it all right, right? And we did a good job here. KGF Endgamer was great with you. Article 13 is happening Thursday. SP, have a great time. Goodbye forever. What? No idea what that means. Does anybody know what that means? Was great with you. Thursdays. Okay. I'm just excited to see what this is about. Missed it when it was on Kickstarter. Well, you know, I have to admit, Alex was nice enough to write me a letter and say, hey, are you interested in this? And I go, I don't even know what this is. And I guess, you know, this is a project from 2016. So just when we were starting, you know, pretty much we were nobody, and you know, we're still nobody. But missed most of it. What kind of game is this? A great one, Leroy. A great one. Dungeon crawl adventure that I think you'll like. Let's see. Is there? Yeah, like I already answered. They will provide the information. Check their Kickstarter page too. Go to their Kickstarter page. They are constantly updating and keeping people involved in this, which I always think is important. Oh boy, that's too bad. All right, well, anyways, to go further, we're unfortunately KGF. I just don't get involved in that stuff. If you want to write me offline, novaprime860@hotmail.com. Tell me all about it. I'd be fine to discuss it with you there. It is one versus many or co-op. It is a co-op crawl. It has its own AI, or somebody can play and be the villain actually, and play it almost kind of like a D&D type of feel or a Pathfinder feel. But you can play it without a dungeon master, shall we say. There's a couple different ways that you can play it. I'm telling you, I know this, unless somebody from some miracle comes out of the sky and invents something in the next 8 months, 10 months, I just don't see it. All the time I poured into this and the fascination I've had with the lore and the beauty, this is very well going to be probably my game of the year, or at least my favorite game of all time, or in my top 10. Let's put it that way. Let's not go crazy. How do they run the AI, Rob? Cards? No. What the monster has is a bunch of choices. And I'm sorry I didn't cover that. On the card, it's going to give you, okay, are you adjacent to an ally? It will do a certain ability. Do you have line of sight of an enemy? Are you within an area influence? We didn't talk about area influence. We'll talk about that tomorrow when I have the actual tile in front of me. Each character will have an area influence. Well, so will the enemy. And what they will be able to do is cast within that area of influence. Movement also is octagonal. I can't say that word. You cannot move diagonally. You can only move. You know what I'm talking about. The Kickstarter is gorgeous. Yes, Helen, it sure is. So you will go down that list and you will perform all their actions, and then boom. It may be they're going to move to the closest. Well, what if there's two guys that are sitting there and they are in equal distance? Not to worry, because what you're going to reference is, remember we told you about laying out the order cards? Whoever comes first in order, that is where the monster's going to head. So if you are the first card, you are going to be the target until you are eliminated. Ouch. Orthogonal. Yeah, and I still can't see it. I can read it. I can't say it. There you go. Thank you, Helen, though. All right, so how long did we go? Because I'm very big on not making very long streams. 43 minutes. So I was able to explain this to you in 43 minutes, pretty much giving you a key idea. Go over the manual. Tomorrow we are unboxing this thing, and when you see the size and how much this weighs, this game weighs close to 25 pounds. 25-pound game. Sounds a bit like D&D adventure games. It's more than that. It is a Japanese more like a Japanese role-playing game with a lot of Pathfinder mixed in and some Final Fantasy. It's all the great things in life put into this. The guys coming out and building this beautiful, passionate game that they put their heart and soul in. Home run. I think you guys are gonna really, really enjoy this. All right. Perhaps, but it looks like it will work a heck of a lot better. But it will work a heck of a lot better. Exactly. All right. So, what does this mean as far as Frostgrave and some of the other stuff? It doesn't take us off schedule. I'm slipping this in, switching some things around. I'm going to be working extra to make sure that I cover both. And we will, right after we get done with this game, because I owe it to these guys to really cover this very, very well. We're going to go right into Frostgrave, and then Rangers of Shadow Deep. If you saw the video today, give that a thumb up as well. And there you go. All right, listen, hey, pretty much told you everything I know about it. Tomorrow when we open up the box, we're going to go through it quickly so I can get out and get this thing going. I need to get it primed. I need to get all the other special stuff primed. Now, the other thing I didn't show you or talk about, and I just want to hit this real quick, and you'll see this tomorrow, is that you don't have to play with the minis. They actually have cardboard stands that they include with it, so you can use those as well. But damn, why not use the minis? They went through the trouble of making this beautiful game. Play it to a full tilt. Woohoo, more work. Yay, Helen's got to work. Larissa too. By the way, Larissa, I hope you're feeling a lot better. I've been very concerned about you. All right. My voice is almost shot, okay? And we're only in day one of this. There you go. We've said it all. There's not too much. I don't want to make this a really long, drawn-out video. I wanted to keep it under an hour, and that's what we did. I think I gave you everything that you need to do to get going on this. I hope this helps you guys, and I hope it excites you to watch in the coming days of what we're going to be doing. Don't forget to comment and subscribe and get updates on this and all the other fun stuff we cover. We take this very seriously. When somebody has faith in us, we are going to give you everything that we are and more. Whether it's a Haba game with the Tiger or something as serious as something like this. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoy this. And until next time, it is your old pal Rob saying, hold on, let me get over to the click button there. Mechanically, the monsters have it. Oh, okay. It's your old pal Rob saying we will see you tomorrow with Midara.